Okay, so if you've had the time to do those extra steps and really make your video look really good, and you got a soundtrack and you want to be considered for the best of that we're going to put on YouTube, then this is what you're going to need to do. We're going to have to redo our master sequence, because the video that we had before, if you watch it, you're going to see some really weird stuff. Wherever there's diagonal lines, the NTSC DV format has a lot of trouble with. So we're going to make a second master and build it up so that it doesn't have all of this weird shimmering that goes on. Note right there how that doesn't really look really good, especially in bright and dark areas. So this is what we're going to do. Let me close that video out. I'm going to get rid of that one, because that's where we're going to export our new video. So this is the regular one, and then we're going to make a much better one. So let me go here, and we have to make a new sequence. And what I found is this DV24P setting. It's still a standard 48, so it has the same sizes, but then when we get ready to export, it's progressive scan instead of using the fields. So it's not 30 frames per second, it's going to be 24 frames per second. So let's go ahead and call this master 24P. And what we can do is we're going to open up each of our different sequences and copy those over. But I'm going to start with the master here and Control-C copy, make sure I'm at the beginning, and Control-V paste. So I've got my intro and I've got my food. So I'm going to go ahead and go open up food and Control-C copy. I want to be right at the end. Let's see what's the best way of doing that. Go to food and go to the very end like that. And click down here, paste. I'm going to go to master, open up video games. Oh wait, go to master, get my second title, Control-C, go to my master 24P and paste it in. Now I can get my video games, copy those, and paste them afterwards. So you're going to rebuild it, and this one is not going to have the sequences inside. We're actually going to do something to shorten the whole thing up as well. So then you get your title and paste. I'm going to move over, get my third sequence, which is interests. Zoom out, so I'm sure to copy all of it with keyframes and everything. If you drag them fresh, you won't have those keyframes. And paste. Scroll down here to my fourth title, Control-C copy, and paste. Again, if you get lost in here and you want to paste it exactly right, click on your last thing, use your laser pointer, go right to the end, so that when we go over here and get our fourth sequence, copy all of these images. We're going to go to master and paste. Alright, so getting there, need our fifth title, Control-V, and now our programs. There's all our different software that I like, and paste. And one last thing, which is the credits. Control-C, and then Control-V. So the only thing that's missing from this now is the transitions that go between the titles and the sequences. So you can find those again. You can pick the default just to do it quickly. You can say, well, I really like the cube spin, let's say, and I want to use that for all of them. So let's go and find it. Cube spin as an example. I'm going to right click on cube spin and set it as my default. So now when I'm over here, I can press Control-D. Notice that video 1 is not selected. Let me click on that. There we go. Now it will apply. I don't want to replace all of them, just the ones for the title. Control-D. Scan down here. If you have time to make each of those different, if you really like some different ones, that is great. Maybe we want to have something different for our titles at the end, our credits. And I am going to right click on cross dissolve, put it back on default. I require that you do that. And then, wonder which one we could use. How about this wipe? It's called a gradient wipe, and it's pretty nice. If I drag that over here, let's take a look. Has a picture, a black and white picture that makes the gradient like this. And what we'll do is fade out, and there's my credits at the end. Now, if you were to go ahead and put your song on here, you'd basically have your master redone. But I do want these to not quite be 2 minutes and 26, 2.5 minutes long. We need to shorten them up because we're going to show a lot of them. And we could have these go a little bit faster and not really lose what we're looking for. So yes, you could put your song on here and re-export it using the step 6 technique. But I'm going to show you one more. I'm going to make another sequence. It can be that same 24p, but this one I will say master for exporting. And this is the one where I'm going to take my 24p master and put it on there with my music and shorten it up. Easy way to do that without shortening each of the pictures. So let me go back to my project, find my master 24p, that's the improved one. Okay, and I'm going to drag it on my master for exporting. That's a single sequence with everything in it except the music. I'm going to go to the 2-minute mark. I can be exact if I really want to by typing that in there. And I'm going to not just shorten it, because then it would end there at the CS6. I don't have everything that's in there. What I want to do is make the time change. So it plays all of the 2.5 minutes in 2 minutes instead. And there's a nifty tool that I'm going to show you right now. It's called the rate stretch tool. This tool will allow you to take the end of some things and change how fast they go. So now everything's there. It ends with the credits. But if I watch it, it's moving along at a faster pace. So this is then where I would take my song and I would put it on there. Let me open up so I can see the waveform. Let me go back to my regular arrow. Now you could do that with the song as well, but it really changes music a lot. So I'm just going to go ahead and have it fade out like I did before. So once again, if you want your song to end in a nice way, you can go to Effects, Transitions for Audio, and take your constant gain and put it on there. You might experiment with exponential fade as well. When I zoom in, I notice that the music actually keeps going after the text is gone, which is not a bad effect there, but if I want them to be exactly the same length, I'll do that. Now again, at the end of our video, if we stretch this out so the fading out takes longer, it sounds very professional. Okay? So that is what I would like you to export. And I'll show you the exporting of a faster 2-minute video with audio that will not have that terrible diagonal line working there. File, export the media. You're going to make sure it's H.264, and let's choose that Android phone and tablet 480p again. I'm going to go down here, and since this is a much better video, let me cancel that real quick. Make sure, yep. Okay, File, Export, Media. And we're going to say, let's have some more data to spend on this. If we ramp it up all the way, we'll get a video 145 megabytes in size. Let's just say make it 100 megabytes. So we can bring this down until we get about 100. Maybe I need to type in some numbers. 99 is pretty close. 6.8, 6.85, 100 megabytes. Got video and audio. I've got enough data to make it look good. When it gets really busy on the screen over here, it can spend up to 10 megabits per second. And I'm also going to say use the maximum render quality. Another thing I like to do is the keyframe distance. going to change that to 30. That means it'll only take 1 second for the video to fix itself up if somebody jumps from one part to another. Sometimes when you jump to a middle part of a video, it looks all blocky and weird until all of a sudden it snaps back to the way it's supposed to. That's because a keyframe has been sent. So I like to change that to 30. Maximum render quality, and let's export that. Now that's going to make a video called master for exporting, and that's going to keep it different from your other one. So let's change that. I'm going to go back. I made a mistake. I want to give it a different name. 140927, 8th period. So tell me who you are again. And let's find a way of saying for YouTube, okay? Because this is one you want included, and it's very high quality. So we're going to add that to the end, and if you put that on there, it tells me, okay, this person has spent the extra time to really make this a very high quality video. So when we save that and export it, now we're going to get a 2-minute video instead of 2.5. It's going to be nice and clear and sharp. It'll have the pictures leveled. This one would have been a good one to level as well, looks like. But that's how you take it to the next level and export a high resolution, a higher quality video for us to use.